Welcome back to Macsville, and today we are starting the long-awaited project. That's right, the Riverwalk, just over here. So let's go check out where we're going to be doing this. We've already created the Anal Nature Reserve. We definitely have to move that godforsaken water pump. We're finally going to start building this Riverwalk, and I'm excited about that. What it does mean, however, a few things are going to have to change, whether we like them or not. So, first things first. Now, I know this is a bit of a break in the realism factor. Obviously, the idea of being able to just move a water pump is very unlikely. However, it is the way that the game plays, and therefore that's what we have to do. So let's just make sure that reconnects very quickly. We will clean this up. Got a lot of water and stuff like that we're going to need to do afterwards anyway. And also, I think we're just going to clean these up just like that. So we have enough electricity currently. We have enough water currently. That's fantastic. We had hit 7,000 population last episode, so that's awesome in that sense. We've got that working. I've just seen this over there that it's still emptying and it doesn't need to empty anymore. And just whilst we're here, anything else? Any other problems, city? No? Right, fantastic. Okay, so my idea, my crazy idea, is to have a road, pedestrianised road, parallel to this road that comes all the way along and that internally is just purely pedestrianised and gives people loads of options. So I'm thinking there will be a lot of commercial, because it's also what we have a ton of demand from, and there will also be a few bits of residential possibly scattered in there. But the first thing that we are going to have to do is just get rid of all the existing zoning along here. So what I'm going to do is, to start off with, I'm just going to use our simple gravel road. If I knew how to use this, this would be a lot cooler. The parallel road mode. So if we say select node to add it or add all of them, if we just add the big nodes, yeah, like this. Oh, wouldn't this be magical if this works? Node connected with an other. Okay, so if we go up to there, okay, we've got instructions. This is fantastic. Plus, minus, or equals to change offset. Oh, look at this. Press or to change height. Shift minus X 10. Ah, there we go. Okay. Oh, look at this, boys and girls. This is going to be a lot quicker than I thought it was going to be. So we're going to have to try this and hope for the best to a certain extent. Because when you hit tab, it goes into first person view, which actually isn't very helpful. I've also done it again. I forget about that music. Awful. Awful music. Okay, let's try this. Okay, yeah, that definitely seems to be prioritizing the zoning onto here, which is fantastic. That's exactly what we want. We've also got the park entrances, which are somewhat problematic currently. Let's see if we can come up with a plan. All right, check that out. It does connect. It doesn't connect very well there, but that's okay. We can fix that little piece. And we also need to re-establish the entrance to the parks, which we can then move this one as well. So that shouldn't be too much of a problem. So I'm just going to fix this little piece here. And of course, we're going to make sure that we're forcing our zoning. Okay, so we don't quite have 4 and 4 on either side on some parts. We do have a couple of pieces there, but I still think this should work. And I think it'll be okay in theory. Nice. Perfect. Okay. That doesn't... Whoa. That doesn't look great yet, but we will fix that piece in a bit. So we now have our Riverwalk road, pedestrian road. I should be careful how I use words. So we're not going to call those roads as such. We're also just going to recreate these connections here, just so we can clear up the space in between. And now we need to start figuring out some connectivity. So we're going to paint a brand new pedestrianised area that I believe is going to be called the Riverwalk. I feel like that's broken the park entrance, which would suck a little bit, but we're going to have to figure that out. What's the only piece that's kicking off? Would that do it? I think that's worked. Okay, so we still can't do these pedestrianised areas, and the reason is because we've got to construct the small pedestrianised area space. We're going to add this to the very top up here, I think, just to make sure I understand what it is and how this building works. And now, can we... Aha, yes, we can. Fantastic. Here we go. So we've got small sandstone, we've got bigger sandstone, pedestrian streets. How big are these? Hang on a second. Before we Those are massive and would leave us with very little space. I don't think we're going to be able to do that. But I do like the colour of the sandstone. Shall we have a look at what that might look like? I think that might be nicer. Yep, I think that's the one we're going to go with. Let's see what this looks like all the way along. So straight away I can see that we have killed our parks, which is going to be a problem. I'm not 100% sure how to solve that. Okay, so I don't know how to fix that problem currently, so that will be a problem to be fixed later on. To be fair, it's not stopping people from coming into the park. The visitor numbers are still climbing. Maybe it's just, well, okay, cool, vehicles can't get there, so what? Who cares? We clearly do need to build some parking though. Okay, so we'll come back to car parking. So if we look at this, we've still got, well, we've got good residential and commercial demand currently. I think these were also commercial, which I think same thing applies. We're going to try and get everyone over to our new district if we can. So a couple of things. Let's make sure I do this correctly. Commercial wall to wall. Feels like that's affecting a lot rather than just, oh, do I have to do a separate district as well? 1 second, I'll be right back. Okay, so this isn't Mulberry Heights, this is Riverwalk district, otherwise we'll never find it again. Let's try that again. So for commercial we want back to back, and for office space we want back to back, and not back to back, wall to wall buildings. So for everything we want them to be wall to wall buildings. I think that's going to be really important. I think we've got only 1-2 connectivity parts at the moment. I think that is going to have to change a little bit. So I do think we're just going to connect these up. One here, one there. I think we're going to have one here just in front of the park entrance. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's enough actually. And then what we might do is we might add in some walking paths. Although technically the idea would be get round to the front and then actually enjoy the walk. So no, we won't for now. Let's start zoning in. Now, I want to do this sort of in sections so that we don't end up with too much stuff not managing to build in, and also to see how this actually is going to build in. So let's have a look. So I think one of the key issues here as well is going to be that the back-to-back really work better when it's in like corners. So I tried some low density commercial there. I'm going to try some high density commercial here. Gonna have to get this to reforce the zoning. Okay, we're gonna fill this all in. We've got a ton of demand at the moment for residential, so I'm going to stick this section as all residential along there. I'm going to leave that blank for a moment. This is all kind of filling up nicely, but not necessarily with what we had in mind. And the reason why I've left some gaps along here as well is to make sure that we do actually get in some funky stuff that I don't think we've opened up yet. So I've realized a couple of things. I've done this is basically the view of the river has disappeared completely because of my logic that we would have stuff on either side. But then if we don't, oh, actually that's quite nice. There is little parts that are, you can still kind of go in between, I guess. And this building's lovely actually, the way they've built this terrace. Look at that. What a great place to sit. But I think this is where we need something on this backside here. And I'm not sure whether it's going to be a path. Oh, look at this. Oh, wow. What a lovely part of town. Except for the demonic dog that just went through the table. But look at that for a place to sit down. You can see an owl reserve. Okay, this isn't as bad as I thought. But we do need something to come all the way along this back of here. And I don't know whether that's just going to be... I think it's just going to have to be a nice looking path. And I think we're going to have to turn everything off for this. So other than a couple of bumpy parts, that kind of makes sense. And I think if we decorated this with a few nicer things along the way, that'd be quite cool. Here there could be some nice trees and stuff that would again just make this area pop. And obviously here being a bit of an issue. Now, is it just those couple of buildings and that little piece that looks a little bit off? I think it kind of is, isn't it? So what happens if we could do that? Okay, so that's not perfect, but it's better. And that's a good start. Yes, these things are proving to be more difficult than I imagined. Here we go. Pedestrian area plazas. This is what I've been looking for. And there's a few different things. And there's tons of props and everything, which I think would be awesome for a detailing episode. But we actually do have a few of the different... So, for example, large food truck plaza, which I think kind of straddles two sides. I still think this could be quite cool, actually, on the opposite side. Yeah, look at this, like just next to the entrance to the park. But there's also other things that don't necessarily have to be quite so big. There's another small food truck plaza. as people come out of the park, I think it could be quite a cool place, or even to meet people, friends, before you go to the park. I think we're going to add in commercial up until the end here. Do think we're going to have to do something about parking. Okay, I just found, after what feels like a long time, one of these assets that I downloaded, which I think is a car park, which I think potentially might work for people. I'll alleviate the traffic basically from piling up on that road. Now, I don't know how well this will work, but we'll try this one out. If not, we'll then have to move some stuff around and build some big car parks, or bigger car parks, let's call it. Okay, so what are these guys complaining about? Highly educated workers are starting to come up. So I think that means we now know exactly what we're going to be building next. Yeah, you see, the back-to-back hasn't really worked along here, has it? But still, it'd be a nice place to live. We do have a little space here, so can we fit anything from the Parks and Plazas update? Got a funny feeling all of these are quite chunky. Well, it doesn't look too bad in terms of that, but it doesn't look great in terms of where it actually is. No, I don't like that there. We do have a nicer sort of chunkier space here, so maybe we get away with that there. And then as it comes, because we've got to start building along here as well. What's our demand? We've still got fairly good demand for both commercial and residential. Along here, we don't have the space, or do we? I guess we do. We might have to force one of the paths through, but we might be able to make this work. Okay, so this does mean we have a little bit of a space here, and just opposite as well. But again, I think that's fine. We'll be able to put little different bits and pieces in there. Do think we're already having some issues with educated workers, which means the next thing we'll be doing is definitely buying another tile and building a university, I'm guessing. Although maybe this space just opposite is a great place, overlooking the owl reserve, and maybe it can have like a scientific stroke animal focus, maybe. But we are definitely going to need that next tile, because we are starting to fill everything up, which is a good sign. Oh wow, not enough water. Did we not? Oh, it's just this little area that doesn't quite get it. Okay, let's fix this. Okay, so our Riverwalk is definitely building out. People seem to like it. And I think we can increase the value of the land. So land value bonus here is currently showing 3 out of 5, 276. Now, from my point of view, I'm thinking this literally is just affected by what we put into the area. But I'm not sure what that can include. Ah, you see, we could have the Japanese gardens. How does that look in terms of... Yeah, that's not looking great, is it? People very unhappy with me for that decision. The Llama Advisor statue, that could go in here. Oh, stop complaining, people. And I don't think anything else is really going to fit, because most of these things are actually 4x4s. And I think that the smaller stuff like props, etc., don't actually necessarily help with anything. So for example, if you put this down, you see, it would be nice because people could arrive here, sit under here, especially in the rain like it is right now. God damn, those water pumps are ugly. Currently no garbage trucks are being used, which I find strange. Happiness is still going well though. There's less entertainment, but I'm not really sure how to do much about that. Not enough goods to sell. Oh, look at that. We've got a huge amount of demand for more industrial. And also, we haven't taken care of this. Okay, so maybe that... Oh, and the power's going as well. Heavens forbid. Everything's going at the same time. Okay, so these coal power plants do about 40, but the big one does about 120. So I think it's time that we shifted to oil, and I think that by doing that, as the oil goes up, our production capacity now is absolutely huge. So it means we should be able to get rid of at least one of these. Yes, there you go. You seem to have quite a lot of dead people, and I think I know why as well. No, I'm wrong. That doesn't come until later, the crematoriums. But in terms of cemeteries, etc., we're not... Oh, God, too many things happening. We've unlocked level 3 for an owl reserve, which is great. We'll be able to fix that up in a bit. Why are we having such an issue with death care? Well, mainly because we've only got one cemetery, which is all the way on the other side of town. So let's see what happens if... Oh, look at this. It's a perfect size. We have another cemetery in here. That'll give us 2 and hopefully enough to kind of help people on this side. Okay, so back to... We know that we need to create more goods. Let's take a look. Why are we still importing? Production should be massively able to cope with this. So we only have 3 of these and 4 of those, and apparently that's not doing enough. So we're going to need to have more farms, and let's see if I can make this work. All right, so I think this is going to help massively in terms of production. We should see our own production go up, the imports go down, and more importantly, more than enough to be able to fuel the animal products industry. That just shouldn't be an issue whatsoever. So I'm hoping that this is going to help fill a little bit of the industrial need, but not really a huge amount, because we haven't actually started creating much more. You can see here that it's still saying not enough raw materials, which is just crazy. So I'm not really sure, other than just to throw down a few more. In fact, all right, so I've added in 3 more. I think hopefully this will work. I'm not really 100% sure. Let's see what happens. I think there's more we need to do here as well. And also we're going to run out of space to kind of grow this section out. Although we do have a bit more space around here. Might also have to do with how fertile the land is, but I'm not 100% sure if that is affecting this. But we can definitely see here that as it's starting to work, this is now creating some output, which is what we really care about. Our Riverwalk is still having issues with goods, and that is purely because of our industrial need. I think we're not really going to have much of a choice on this one. Let's build another block along here. Congratulations, Butler Agriculture area has reached level 3. Fantastic. So that's really good news. So we'll be able to use that to start building more as well. I think here for now, we're just going to throw down some more industrial space there for now. We do have a couple more blocks here, and I am thinking that we kind of expanded this a little bit. Again, all of this is currently set to agricultural industry, so that hopefully will remain the case and not get too dirty, as it were. But if we just sort of throw that down there, maybe this will help a bit. And then if we really need some more, what I'm thinking is, because again, this is a different road network to that top. So we could actually have just a couple more sections like that, just to give us a bit more buildable space if we need it. And again, with that view to just making sure that we get more goods coming through as quickly as possible. So hopefully that'll help alleviate some of the issues that we were having down on the Riverwalk in terms of goods. And eventually we can then have a look at, maybe there's an issue of having like a warehouse or something closer by that can actually deal with that. But I think for now that should work. In terms of how we're doing here, we haven't really managed to increase anything currently, but that's okay. And our reserve has just jumped up to the next level, so it means we can now put in the next entertainment that we need for reaching level 4. So I think the lookout towers are going to be nice. Maybe even sort of at the entrances and the exits, so people can go and see those. I'd like to kind of have a few of these things sort of up in here to see whether or not this will actually encourage people to walk that way. Did we just see somebody ride past? Or did I just... Yes. Yes, okay, so people do come onto this side, only if we actually put some stuff here for them to come all the way to see. I do want to go through this, and I do want to put more individual props and things like that down, because I do think it will make it look cooler. I just haven't had the time to do that. A stream, which I thought would be a better way of us doing it. Okay, so we're not going to have enough by doing what we've done so far. I think we are going to have the additional campsite. So the only thing I don't like about this is the fact that it just takes away a lot of the trees and currently makes me kind of feel like it's less of a nature reserve. So entertainment until next level, we've now hit that. That's more than enough, so we just need more people to come through. We set all our policies when we first built the park, so that should continue to grow. Dead people, dead people, dead people. This isn't good. So what happens if we put another pedestrian service point down here? Oh, wow, okay. Got issues with water again, so I don't have any better plans right now other than this. And we then need more, look at the pollution up here. We then need more water treatment for sewage. This is now full. This one's now 31% full, 15% full. Have we unlocked the incinerator? Yes, we have. And we haven't built one of these yet, but we did build 4. We had to build like 4 recycling plants just to kind of get things moving. Oh, I've just seen this. Always problematic to see everyone coming off at the very first exit. Also annoying to see them stopping there, and I don't know why they're doing that. I'm sure we sorted this problem.
Many hours later.
Okay. I fixed it. So I had to come the opposite direction rather than going that direction. But anyway, that's fine. That now works. Jeez. Some things in this game. So hopefully that'll stop this from piling up and just backing up a little bit more. Hopefully. Oh, I've forgotten to actually connect to this, didn't I? Wow, this episode feels like it's become just a bit of a too many bits and bobs of things happening and going wrong. Congratulations. So look at that. By building out our Riverwalk, we have hit the next milestone. So we are at Small City, which is fantastic. And that's going to give us some starting ground now to get into the next project, which I believe is going to be buying the next tile and sorting out a university, because that seems to be coming up now more and more. Oh wow, look at the traffic. See, so I did put this little car park, and I think we're going to need more car parks. 2 additional car parks there and 2 more here, and that should do it. So there we have it. We have a Riverwalk. We've got a lovely commercialized area. It's a pedestrianized area, which I think is great that people can walk along. But we have also created a few little pockets like this where apparently you can eat anything you want from the food trucks as long as you want a donut. Oh, amazing city skylines. And also we have the little walkway behind and on the riverfront as well, which is looking like it's getting used a lot, to be fair. So you can see the park area, which is looking beautiful and still looks secluded, which I think is cool, right? Like, you don't want to look over there and sort of see it as if it's a big monstrosity and you can see stuff happening. So it still feels like a nature reserve. And then here, as you look down, you can see there's just a stream of people everywhere. You can hear sirens in the background rather annoyingly. But I think this creates a really nice little area for people to walk up and down, to go around, to do their shopping. Even some people living down this part. And obviously, look at this. I mean, there's some amazing places here where you can be sat down here, taking it easy, enjoying your cup of coffee, looking at a post, and just sort of enjoying and taking in the view. I mean, I think that's awesome. That was the kind of idea of this, to have a bustling hub of the city that would really encourage people to come down here. And again, we can see here, oh, this bit of pavement, that needs reworking, doesn't it? But we can see, like, it's literally bustling. There is people everywhere. It doesn't matter where you go. Look at these guys. Even the dog's happy. Child's happy, maybe. Or possessed. One of the two. Let's go with happy. And again, just bustling. Really nice. These back-to-back buildings do look quite cool. I know they're very ultra-modern, and we don't really get the back-to-back feature, but I'm hoping that's a dog. Otherwise, there's a wolf, like, inside our pedestrian area. But here you have it. That's it. We've managed to do it. So we've been talking about it for long enough. That's that done. We can now focus in the next episode on creating a university, getting our next tile, and figuring out where we continue to build next. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, I'd love you to hit the subscribe button. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what you like and what you don't like in the city down below in the comments. That really helps. Smash that like button if you did enjoy the video. And thanks, everyone. I will see you in the next one.